Hello, I'm Eric.
And I'm Jeff.
KinSoul Studio, recording in the Retro Millennia Studio. On the screen you will see we have links to our website where you will find information on our current games and projects, as well as Retro Millennia's YouTube channel, which we highly recommend subscribing to see their crazy antics and playthrough of retro games that we love.
Today we are going to give a first look at our upcoming game, Alkemia, which is essentially a strategic card and board game where 3 to 6 players take the role of an alchemist vying to create the legendary crust of creation, which will grant them the role of the Grand Alchemist. Players will spend phases either gathering base components called reagents in a customizable foraging field, or spending their resources to purchase recipes to powerful items in a dynamic bazaar, as well as interacting with other players through barter or thievery. So join us now as we take a first look and set up the game Retro Millennia style.
We hope you enjoyed our quick setup of Alkemia, and now let's take a moment to talk about our two main phases of the game that players will be interacting with, the Foraging Phase and the Bazaar Phase. Here we have a cutaway of our foraging field from setup, which is where players will use actions to move their piece along arrows and draw reagent cards, which will be used later to buy recipes and to make items. Also expect to see a few unique items with effects along the way. Each tile has its own set of movement costs to get to other tiles, and will either correspond to one of 5 elemental reagent draw decks: Earth, Water, Fire, Air, and finally Ether, or have its own unique effect. At the bottom of the screen is an action tracker, where you will keep track of all the actions that we have used, and for example, if I were to take a foraging phase now, I would start at 6 actions, and roll the D3 die to possibly get to 9 actions to use to move and draw cards. Since I rolled a 3, I will have 9 actions, and I will control this piece here and move 1 to the Earth tile, and then move another to the Ether tile. While on the Ether tile, I will draw 3 cards, and using my last 4 actions, I will move 2 to the Air tile, and then draw 2 more cards from this patch. And this will end my foraging turn.
Moving on to the second phase a player can take, we have another cutaway of our bazaar, where players will spend resources from the foraging phase I've collected here to buy recipes and also interact with other players or manipulate the flow of the recipe cards. Each recipe has a price and also a type, which will come into play later, and also a sale price. And also what you need to create the item, right? Seen right here in the center. And the slots that you see in the bazaar are 4 normal purchase slots, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 2 sale price slots right here, and 2 spots at the bottom called public knowledge slots, where you have the opportunity to make items without buying the recipe first. Players will have 3 actions to use, utilizing several different bazaar functions, as shown here. But let's say, however, that I really want to purchase the dark matter card here on the top for sale because the cards in my hand here do not add up to enough of the price value to purchase it at normal price. So I'm going to use 2 actions to shift the bazaar. So 1 shift would look like this, and then 2 shifts. Another shift would look like this. So now, as you can see, now the dark matter is in the sale slot card, so it's actually cheaper. So I'm going to use my last action to purchase this card here. So now it is in front of me and I own this recipe. However, luckily in my hand, these cards here, I have what I need to make the item. So now we will make it by matching the symbols here. So as I bought this because I knew I had the items to make it, I'm simply going to match them up and show other players that I have it. So I have 1 liquid type, 1 shell type of reagent, and then 2 green types or earth types. It can be any type as long as it's green. So I would discard these cards, like so. And since I fulfilled that recipe, I would flip the card over, and thus making the dark matter card, which has the name at the top, a type, again, which comes to play later, and then down here we have some flavor text and the power. So there you go, now you own the dark matter and can use this power to help you out on your journey. Again, what we went over today are just but a few aspects of Alkemia, and we will be showing off more gameplay and preview videos as we get closer to our Kickstarter release in October.
If you haven't, please stop by our Facebook and search for Alkemia or KinSoul Studio because we continuously release new artwork by our highly talented artist Amy Stronach, contests, convention info, and more. In conclusion, a big thanks to Retro Millennia for recording and editing our videos. Goodbye until next time.